Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare.
Hi, I'm Dan Arden, and this presentation will allow us to look at education and how it might mediate difference and dominance in the Australian context. Difference is purely described as the quality of being unlike or dissimilar, and it is left to individual interpretation as to what these differences may be. One key issue of difference in Australian society is that of multiculturalism and the impact on Australia Day. We live in a country where over 270 different nationalities are represented, and with an ever-growing population this will steadily increase. In recent reports, the level of immigration has come under scrutiny, with a South Australian newspaper claiming that the Australian public has voted for the level of immigration to be capped. This type of report often comes out around Australia Day, as the Australian population celebrates who they are and where they come from, and with this sometimes comes the persecution of our multicultural migrants. The questions to be answered are: what makes each individual person Australian? Is it the way that you look or the way that you speak? Is there a criterion that must be met to be considered a true Australian? The Queensland Government has come out this year, just prior to Australia Day, announcing the importance of this culturally diverse country that we live in, and has dedicated $700,000 towards the celebration of multiculturalism in this state through festivals and events. It is through these events that Queensland will be able to celebrate their culture-rich population and further develop an understanding of other cultures. The issue of multiculturalism in Australia is evident nowhere more than in schools, with children of the same age, wearing the same uniform, sitting next to a child from a different cultural background. The children in classrooms now have the opportunity to increase their knowledge about other countries from experience, not purely from reading books or watching the news. The experience of learning from the students' peers about cultural diversity will allow children to become more accepting of the multicultural society that Australia has become and will further develop. Australia Day is an opportunity for everyone, no matter what cultural background that you have, to celebrate the country that we live in and where we have come from as a nation. We sing songs about an immigrant German swagman who camp by a billabong and cheer on woos, brescianos and tomiches. Australia is culturally diverse, and Australia Day is a perfect chance to remember who we are and where we come from. However, it is also a day for everyone to remember where they are now. Australia, a land of opportunity. It's the beginning of the 2010 school year, and a new class of grade 5 students will arrive in my classroom with different ideas about what the year will hold for them, as a group and as an individual. I've spoken to my fellow teachers and looked for ideas to develop the students' understanding of this multicultural society that we live in and the issues that are related to this.
Each child could bring in an item that symbolises their culture: books, clothing, photos, anything. And these items are then put together in the classroom to show the students and the visitors to the room the diverse range of cultures that one individual classroom does contain. Throughout the first semester, one item at a time could be looked at, and the student who brought it in can stand up and explain how the item symbolises their culture. From this activity, the students can look into the issue of cultural diversity to gain an insight into the fact that every student may be different, whether that be by looks or culture, but each student has something interesting and exciting to offer to their class and to Australian society.
Perhaps you could gather a variety of photos that expose the mixing of cultures. The students would then be encouraged to find the similarities and differences in the photos. They would then have the opportunity to take a photo themselves of the mixing of cultures, and maybe at a festival or a sporting event. It could be anywhere. The students would then be asked to be as creative as they like, and may even find the mixes of cultures at school or even at home.
Well, with the Winter Olympics and the Soccer World Cup happening in 2010, it would be a chance for the students to develop an understanding of the many different cultures that take part in major sporting events. The students could participate in a mini Olympics. They could represent a country of their choice, dress in the colours of their country, and they could find and play the national anthem. The students would be able to look at the way many different countries participate on a level playing field.
The achievements of the athletes would not be determined by their culture, but rather their individual or team performance. If you look at the Soccer World Cup as a multicultural event, the soccer ball could be used as an icon of equality. The soccer ball could be used in class discussions. For example, when a student has a soccer ball, they have the floor to offer their opinion.